Is it possible to change your abilities to get the grades that you want in just about 10 minutes? Yes. Watch me. This is you. Once upon a time, this was me too. Let's say there's a course you're really struggling in. I'll take maths for example, because I have really struggled with maths in my years too. I'm getting C's, D's maybe. My goal is that A star. I'm on this side of the bridge, and on the other side is the beautiful A star that I've been waiting for. But there's a problem. I can't even get myself to take a step. My feet feel like they've got the weight of 1,000,000 galaxies on them. I mean, I said it's a bridge, but it's more like doing parkour at this point. It's got mud and dirt, it's slippery and uneven. And did I mention that there are other people on the other side of the bridge who are laughing at me for the fact I can't yet cross it? Let's face it, school is difficult. It's designed to be that way. If it were easy, then every student in the world would be getting straight A stars. The bridge you have to cross is specifically designed to trip you up, to make you doubt yourself, to make you feel like you're never going to cross over. And the brutal truth is, not everyone is gonna cross over. But after watching this video, you are, because you have the secret ingredient. And that secret ingredient is to adapt. There you go, just adapt. End of video. Jokes, of course. Getting an education and going to school isn't actually about the learning itself. It's not about the quadratic equations or the Shakespeare quotes or Newton's laws. It's about evolution. I mean, think about it, okay? You come into school in nursery or kindergarten. I know I have a lot of American viewers, barely knowing your number bonds, okay? And you leave school with 10 times, 100 times the knowledge that you had when you started. What just happened? You evolved, you grew, you changed. Everyone evolves, everyone grows, and everyone changes. The difference between the top students and the students who are struggling oftentimes isn't even about intelligence. It's about how quickly you are able to evolve. The first stage to evolution is variation. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that all human beings are equally intelligent or have an equal amount of aptitude for each and every subject. The truth is, there are some crazy intelligent people that are the anomalies, that win the Nobel Peace Prizes and graduate from university at like 12 years old. But most straight A students are not the strange anomalies. They are regular, degular, everyday people that have learned how to work the system. The second stage to this evolution is competition. There are only so many jobs in a certain industry. There are only so many university places. There are only so many scholarship opportunities, top students that a school can have. This means that you are forced into competition with your peers for who is going to get those places. The third stage to this evolution is an environmental change. This environmental change is perhaps you've started a new year of school or new courses, or out of nowhere your course just decides to go from difficulty level 5 to difficulty level 500. It gets stupidly hard, leaving you feeling, well, stupid. The fourth stage of this evolution is to either win or lose. The 0.1% of natural geniuses can cope quite easily when the course gets, let's just say, 100 times more difficult. So they win. The average person will struggle a lot more with that. There are 3 things they can choose to do at this stage. You can choose to do at this stage that will make you either win or lose. Thing number 1, give up. In the short term, this is the easiest option. It requires the least effort, but also gives you the worst result. It's also the easier option for some people because even if you flop, at least you get to say you didn't even try, rather than trying and then failing. Number 2, float by. This is the option that most people choose. You might try here and there, pay attention every now and then in class, but these efforts are scattered. They don't have a rhythm, a rhyme, or a specified strategy to them. It's better than giving up, but you probably still feel like you haven't unlocked your full potential. And number 3, the best choice, you can choose to lock in. I also did a video on locking in. Link here. The students that lock in are the students that win the game of evolution. They realize that not everyone can win, and if they aren't gifted prodigies at what they do, they realize the effort and the technique it's going to take to get there, so they adapt. Did Einstein pop out of the womb instantly knowing the theory of relativity? Did you pop out the womb speaking your first language fluently? Would you try to teach a 5-year-old the rules of quantum mechanics, then call them stupid when they didn't get it on their first try? Hell no. So why are we doing this to ourselves? Yes, you were younger back then. You were growing. There's less pressure and expectation on yourself when you're still growing. But what's made you think that you've stopped growing? Physically, yeah, sure, I don't think I'm gonna grow any taller than 162 centimeters. But mentally, your brain doesn't just stop collecting new information. Your brain is taking in the information that I'm saying right now. The same way your brain has the ability to learn and remember new things that you've studied and apply them to future situations. But it's hard, isn't it? It's not impossible, as we've just established by the fact your brain is always intaking new information, but it's hard. But there is something you can do to make it easier. When life gets hard, you get harder. When your courses get tough, you get tougher. This is what we call adaptation. The human reaction when something becomes difficult for us is to go, well, bye. This means we don't have to challenge ourselves or think outside of the box. If you don't learn this new skill or take on this new project, things stay the same. This gives us a sense of stability, albeit a false sense of stability. We are scared when things go wrong, when things feel unstable. But what if I told you that fear is the key to evolution? There are only 2 things that can stop you from evolving in school. One of these is fear. I'm going to focus the rest of the video on fear, but I'll speak about the second factor before the video ends. I know the basis of my whole channel is supposed to be, woo, go school, but I'm going to take a second to critique the school system. The system in a lot of schools right now, whether that's in the UK or the US or anywhere else in the world, is based on fear. If you don't pass your GCSEs, your whole life is going to end. You're not even going to be able to work at McDonald's, they said. But the issue is that this fear can cause us to feel paralyzed. We feel like we have to be the best, the smartest, the top students on the first try. And if we're not, we must be complete failures. And while sometimes fear is a good thing, and it can be a motivating factor, when it leads to you being paralyzed or giving up, then it's not. If we choose option 3, to lock in, the only way we can be successful in that is to overcome the fear of failure and rejection. The first time you try, you may not succeed. The second time you try, you still may not succeed. The truth is, you don't know how many times it's going to take you to succeed, and you have to learn to be okay with that. This is the story for most successful people, whether it was getting good grades, getting into their dream career. There is a bridge you have to cross that is designed to tear you apart. If you want to make it across, you have got to be the person who doesn't care how many times they fall down. They would rather try and fail than to not put up a fight at all. Think about it. If you don't try and you don't give it your all, you'll never know how far you could have gone. And you'll never know everything that was waiting for you on that other side of the bridge. Easier said than done, right? It also gets easier as you repeat it. I want you, when you finish watching this video and possibly the next, to go out there and study a topic you know you're not good at, and that you'll probably fail. You'll probably feel embarrassed. You'll feel stupid. You'll probably feel like you're a failure. But all you're doing by not studying that is delaying the time that you feel like a failure. You'll have to take that test eventually, where the subject will eventually come up. I don't know about you, but I'd rather practice these questions and feel stupid in my room checking the answers before the exam than to feel stupid when I'm looking at my exam results. If you repeat this often, it will eventually get to the point where you don't feel stupid anymore, but just glad to have learnt it before the exam. But there's a piece of the puzzle that's missing. Remember how I said there were 2 factors to evolution? I talked a lot about the theory behind getting good grades in this video, but now you need to know the action, what to do as a result of this theory. And for that, I've got this video here to help.